Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. It is another one of our season previews. This time it's the turn of Longford Town. Delighted to be joined by Longford fan Lyle Fitzpatrick. Lyle, what's the story? How are you?
Not too bad, no, not too bad. A couple of days out from the season starting, so I suppose starting to get a bit excited about it, even if we are in the graveyard this year.
Yeah, excitement is back, and of course the Saturday nights in Longford will be back in full flow in the
Yeah,
coming weeks. So it's great to see.
um,
Yeah, we'll basically get underway anyway. We'll chat about the players that Longford happened to keep, and from last year overall. So you also have the likes of Lee Stacey in goal. I think that's a very important one. Obviously, I'd rate Lee Stacey a lot, to be honest. I think that's very important. For him to stay. He's also kept the likes of Michael McDonald, Shane Elworthy, left back, and Saul left back. There's obviously the likes of Benjamin Lynch, Ben Lynch, and then obviously Matthew Bryan, Thomas McLaughlin, Aaron Robinson is another key player in my opinion. Obviously Carol Chambers, Aaron McCabe, and then Callum Warfield then just to complete the lot. What are you kind of thinking? Your overall thoughts? How kind of important is it that they kept the likes of them players?
yeah, it's important enough, but I think it's obvious that we're in like a total rebuild period at the moment. You've named a good few players there, obviously the ones that we've kept, but then you could name another 5 or 10 that like probably would have been influential over the last couple of seasons that have moved on to other clubs. The likes of Dervin, of course, the local lad, he's gone to Shells. Dylan Grimes went to Drogheda. Arnold Driscoll, who was huge at the back for us last season. I know we didn't have a great season last year, but like he was probably nearly man of the match every week. No surprise, he's staying in the Premier Division. We've lost Zambra, who's been our captain, midfield stalwart there for the last couple of years, and Rob Manley. We all know what he can do at first division level. I think it was probably hard to judge a lot of the players last year just with the way the season panned out for us. We had a great opening night against Derry, and then look, results obviously we got relegated. Results didn't go our way, but I think a lot of players probably had a lot more to offer than what we've seen. So I think the likes of Lee Stacey, as you mentioned, Shane Elworthy, Carl Chambers, a few of the lads there that have been around the club the last couple of years that have stayed, they'll have no bother playing first division level. I think the experience of being in the Premier last year, that'll pay dividends as well. You mentioned Ben Lynch there. He's probably one I'm very excited about. He committed to the team last year, had a few spells. Good young player, looks very, very good. Matthew O'Brien, you said as well. He's a young lad. And, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the rebuild brings for us, I suppose.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so obviously the players that have come in since last year, the likes of Eric Malloy came in from Shelburne. We all kind of know about him. Obviously Dan Jones in there from Bray. Ryan Graydon's another key one coming in from Bray as well, as well as Darren Craven and Dylan Burnett. So there's quite a few players there, including Sam Vernon, to add to that list there that have come in from Bray. Also you've added the likes of Christian Magaruzan, you could say, and also on loan then from Shamrock Rovers, Dean McNamee. So what are your kind of thoughts on them? Would you know many?
Yeah, I suppose like the players we brought in, like the ones you've named there, like they're not unknowns. I suppose Christian Magerson, or I probably butchered his name. A lot will rest on him this season. I know he's suffered previous with injuries and he's been knocking around the league and he probably just didn't get his break. But like historically throughout the years there, Longford is kind of a club where players like that might get injured and come and it's where they kind of launch themselves onto the scene. A lot of them might look at it as a stepping stone, really, So like there's a big weight on his shoulders already because we're probably very light up top this year compared to previous years. We were probably spoilt in the past with the likes of Davy O'Sullivan scoring so many goals for us in the first division, and we had Rob Manley come in then, proven goal scorer. So like on the books this year, we have Callum Warfield. He's a good young player and he's in and around the club. It's Sam Verdon obviously has come back as well for another stint. And you have Christian, so like we have other attacking threats there, but I just feel it could be a tough season for us up top, The other players that have come in, then obviously there's been a big Bray influence there, bringing Gary Cronin in and the whole merger up there and all that. But Ryan Graydon is one that a lot of the lads have been excited about, and performances he's put in pre-season have been good so far. Eric Malloy, I liked him when he was playing for Wexford back in the day. Look, he's a good player. He'll give it his all. Like, I think it's a good squad we've put together. Is it enough to fight for the title compared to the other teams in the league? I'm not sure. I hope we finish as high up as we can. But look, I'm just looking forward to getting back out there and getting to the games, and the new players coming in and see what they can do, and just the whole buzz about it, really.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, with Magerson, I think he's only 22, and yeah, he was about to place with Bowes and so on. So yeah, that could, it could be, a good season for him. It could be kind of a breakthrough season, and even that, Ryan Graydon, he's still very young, and even Eric Malloy, you can say Eric Malloy is kind of a seasoned pro at this stage. He's been around the block, and so he'll be an experienced head in dressing room, yourself. So yeah,
there's a good balance there between young lads and lads that have had a bit of experience there, and look, you're always going to have a few players there coming back from injury or a couple of knocks here and there, that's just part and parcel of the game, so I wouldn't be surprised if we announced a couple of more players in the coming days, because just before we done this, I was looking at the amount of players we've signed, and bar at loan, we've actually the smallest squad so far announced. So I'd say, look, there'll be one or two more additions before a ball is kicked come Saturday.
Interesting to see who they are. What kind of players that not anyone know are the ones to watch? So ones to watch that people wouldn't kind of know of that are in the squad.
Ones to watch for me, obviously, I said him already there. Ben Lynch, I thought he was immense when he got a couple of games last year. Didn't look out of place at all. Very young, solid defender. Matthew O'Brien's probably a name there that Longford fans would have been going on about for the past few years. I know when Dara Doyle left for Drogheda there, I think he was trying to bring him with him as well. He's a young midfielder there. He is a big League of Ireland future ahead of him. Another one then, obviously, Aaron Robinson. He jumped up from Leinster Senior League or Dublin League last year to Premier Division, so it was probably a big jump from last year. It took him a few games to get acclimatized to the standard of football, but I think this year now he'll really kick on. The experience from last year will really pay off for him, and he could be a big name for us this season.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So obviously, back in the first division, then I'll see the return of the Midlands derby with Athlone. So I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't think it's been a fiery affair over the last couple of years. I think, look, Athlone probably haven't been where they want to be the last number of years. Even looking at what they've signed so far, they have a lot of foreign players coming in there. I think they had open trials and stuff like that. And look, from a Longford point of view, you'd like to see Athlone doing a bit better, and have a bit more of an intense rivalry there. You're looking back at it. Geez, it's a good few years ago since Athlone won the league and they just pipped us to the post and stuff like that, and you had bumper crowds for games like that. It's kind of harder to sell it to the fans there when Athlone are probably going to be bottom of the table this year or thereabouts. When it's a shame really, because there's five spots for playoffs if you say one automatic up and then the next four, so second, third, fourth, fifth into the playoffs. A little bit of investment there, and if they got the bandwagon going again, like everyone else in the graveyard, they could kick on.
Yeah, well, that's it too. It could be a tighter league, obviously, with the 9-team league now since you've dropped out. It'll be interesting to see, kind of what kind of way it pans out. As you were saying, 5 of the 9 places are, a chance of a playoff. So we don't know what will happen. They could.
I was looking at the squads. I was looking at kind of keeping tabs and looking away, as you do when you're coming into the start of the season. And like a dark horse for me, people will all probably slag me now because I've always had a bit of a graw for them. But I think Wexford could be a surprise package this year. Did some great results last year towards the end of the season. They brought in some players there this year, the likes of Paul Hunt, where Longford fans will be well familiar with him. He was our starting keeper when we won the first division last time round. They've Jack Doherty there, they've Lorcan Fitzgerald, Aaron Dobbs, Joe Manley, Dinny Corcoran. They've serious experience down there. Connor Davis, obviously another one. If they can kind of gel and get that team going, there's no reason why they couldn't be setting their sights on a playoff spot.
Yeah, that's a good shout. And you had Conan Byrne coming out there a few weeks ago saying that Bray are heading for the league. I think that's a bit mad, but you don't know what's going to happen. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's a very very tough division, the first division. It always has been. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I know you've survived the last couple of years in the
Yeah,
Premier, but like even when you're down there, like it's a real dogged sort of division, and it's not an
yeah,
easy one for anybody to
yeah,
win. Like I don't think anyone expected us to come out of it when we did through the playoffs.
yeah,
We just had three really good results. Timing was right, and things went our way. But like to win a first division is very very difficult because there's no easy games. Like I know I've said that Lone and probably struggle towards the bottom of the table, but like you're still not going to go over and put 5 or 6 past them. That sort of way. They're still going to go for the 90 minutes. There's a lot of young players there that are trying to prove things for themselves. And lads trying to better themselves. So like it's not a matter of any team showing up this year. But if I had to be pushed on to pick one that I thought might probably win the league, I'd probably have to go towards the bookies' favourites, which is Waterford.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Personally speaking, I think Waterford are too strong for the league.
but
Considering the players.
but you have to look at it from the point of view like people had tipped Galway the last couple of years and they have struggled, and
Yeah,
like you've with Waterford, Limerick or Treaty, sorry, Bray, Cork, Galway, Longford, like they're all big clubs for the first division, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So,
That's it.
so
Yeah,
it'd be very interesting. Like it'd be very, very interesting to see what way the league table. Like
yeah,
we could miss out. We could easily miss out on playoffs, or we
yeah,
could be there,
yeah.
or we
That's
could
it.
be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I think the first division is actually going to be more interesting than the Premier. But I'd say
Yeah.
that both of them deliver, which is good to see. Yeah, so obviously you start the league campaign against Cove on Saturday night. Would you be confident of picking up the 3 points?
I suppose it would. Yeah. I think we have a good record starting off in the league. I probably could be totally wrong with that, but as memory serves me now, it's like last year we met Derry opening night, and be a bit of buzz. I suppose a lot of people are probably just fearing that the game will be called off with this storm warnings and the
Yeah,
harsh weather, the joys of summer, the joys of summer football. But
yeah,
look, it'd obviously be nice to get 3 points in and get the ball rolling. I think especially the fact we have in the game the following week. So if we do lose our first game, we're waiting that extra week before we can get back in and get the points going. So it'd obviously be nice to have a positive start. But look, if we lost, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's a long season. I suppose lads are still probably trying to get match fit, and it'll be interesting to see what way it goes. But just be happy to watch it, I suppose.
yeah, good stuff. And then just the last question for you. Then, where do you think Longford will finish come the end of
Oh, straight up win the league.
this?
I don't know. I genuinely look. Obviously I'd love to see them go up. I think we didn't really get the full enjoyment of Premier Division football due to the pandemic. Like we never really had our day in the suns. It was great beating shells and getting promoted and all that, but then a lot of the time you weren't allowed the full amount of fans in, and we probably just missed out on that Premier Division experience. Just took from it a small bit after waiting so many years to get up. So look, and then I suppose we can take from the fact that we didn't win the league and finish so low in the table. Like I think I could be wrong here again now, but I'm fairly sure. I think Wexford beat us on the last day of the season last year, or
Yeah,
the year before. Sorry, in the first division, they beat us the last game of the season, and had we won that, we would have guaranteed playoffs. So
right.
we went into the playoffs. We stumbled into the playoffs. Really, other results went our way. So look, I think it just goes to show that anything can happen. If we have a bit of a hit and miss season, but manage to get into the playoffs and we can get it right for that. Well, look, we're thereabouts. But look, I'm just going to enjoy it really. I suppose I wasn't kind of the last while. I wasn't too involved in it. You kind of was waiting for it to come back, and it's great to get back talking to yourself about it and just the buzz and the bit of social media, the Twitters, the interviews, and all that sort of stuff. And come Friday or Saturday night, whichever night your team plays, I'm sure there'll be many people around the country buzzing to get the League of Ireland back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was the season. That was the season. I think it was 2 points in it that you made the playoffs and so on. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's good. That's a great way to finish it off, and I'm sure people will be looking forward to. Hopefully, this storm doesn't ruin ruin our enjoyment for the weekend. But yeah, hopefully everything will go to plan, and the likes of Fun Park, and we'll be able to hold off the rain and whatever's to come over the next few years or whatever. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on to Lyle.
No bother at all.
Yeah, so obviously hopefully Longford have a good season.
Same for yourselves now. I hope Finn Harps obviously stay up. I think it be a tough Premier Division this year with the likes of Shells going up and UCD. But I think Ollie will guide you through it anyway, like he always does, So look, thanks very much for having me, and best of luck yourself for 2022.
Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, like the video. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. Makes the channel grow and so on. And yeah, basically, thanks for watching. Cheers.